Last October, AT&T offered to buy Time Warner for only $85 billion. So that's obviously a giant merger. It has to get, in a sense, approved by the federal government. And I talk about this all the time, that there are these parent corporations that run a lot of these media organizations, and CNN is under Time Warner, which if the merger is approved would be under AT&T. Well, they care a lot more about some of the approvals that are gonna happen than they care about necessarily the ratings of one of your channels in that giant media organization. And some of those organizations, their parent corporations aren't even media. So in the case of Time Warner, they largely are a media company. In the old days when GE used to own NBC, they're largely defense contractors. They had other lines of business as well, but their biggest was defense contractor. So they were making money in other ways. They needed media both for a profit center, but also for marketing purposes. So that's reality, and when you mention that, sometimes people go, oh no, corporate interest and billions of dollars on the line, that would never affect anyone's decision. How dare you? Well, the one good thing about the Trump era is that they're a little bit more brazen in their corruption, so it leads to a tiny bit more honesty, whether it's accidental or not. So in this case, the Trump administration is saying, yeah, we might take politics into account in how we evaluate this merger. Now, they're not technically supposed to, but I got news for you guys. And by the way, if you're in the mainstream media, I hope you're sitting, because you're gonna be shocked to chagrin when I tell you that under old administrations, yes, the Obama administration, the Bush administration, Republicans and Democrats alike, they considered your politics when they were considering mergers, and they considered donations. I know that they will say until they're blue in the face, oh, how dare you? Are you challenging the nobility of these honorable gentlemen? My answer to that is yes, I am. I believe that, of course it was relevant. And of course, look, when I was at MSNBC and I was a host there, I was told over and over again, and that is why I left, that I had to know who the home team was. The home team apparently was the Democratic Party. Why? Comcast, the largest media organization in the world, is run by a bunch of liberals? No, that is not the reason why. Because at that time, the Obama administration was the ones that got to decide, are mergers for Comcast going to get approved? Are we gonna have net neutrality? Are we not gonna have net neutrality? Those are multi-billion-dollar decisions. Oh, how is your ratings at 6 o'clock on MSNBC? Ba-ding, who cares? Again, in the Trump era, since they can't contain themselves, they're just more blatant about it. So that brings us to a report from the New York Times. They explain that White House advisors have discussed a potential point of leverage over their adversary. A senior administration official said, a pending merger between CNN's parent company Time Warner and AT&T. Mr. Trump's Justice Department will decide whether to approve the merger, and while analysts say there is little to stop the deal from moving forward, the president's animus towards CNN remains a wild card. Drops. Okay, so there you have some significant drama. Now, for whoever at the White House is leaking that, is obviously means to do one thing, which is to intimidate CNN. Two, that might be a very real threat. Now, previous administrations were sophisticated enough not to leak that to the press, because it then triggers several different things. Number one, it's technically illegal to do that. The Department of Justice doesn't approve the merger. It can try to block the merger and ask for an injunction. But if it does, they go to court, and the court can then see, did you block it because you thought it limited competition for legitimate reasons, or did you block it for illegitimate reasons like political reasons? Well, if you told the New York Times you did it for political reasons, that might not help your cause. Plus, you don't want to raise your hand and say, I'm doing something kind of illegal here, right? Or we're threatening to do something illegal. I guarantee you the Obama administration would not have been that unsophisticated, no matter what they actually did in reality. So now CNN gets to say we would never take this into consideration, but Mediaite reports it had recently been reported that AT&T might be looking to neutralize CNN President Jeff Zucker as part of the merger, with options ranging from firing him to kicking him upstairs to a corporate executive job with no real input at CNN. And that's how this game is played. Now, today, Jeff Zucker is out there going, no way, they wouldn't do this. If you say so, Jeff. Okay, but as you know, sometimes that is exactly how it goes down. And that would be sophisticated of Time Warner not to fire Jeff Zucker, but to give him a promotion where he gets more money. At MSNBC, I was offered more money, but I was offered to move from prime time to the weekends where less people see you. So Jeff, you might get more money and a promotion, but you're gonna go to an office where nobody's ever gonna hear from you again. Now that is one of the possibilities. Now that it's more out in the open, it's harder to execute. And it forces CNN to say, no way. And it puts Zucker, I think, in some ways in a better position. Because if you do it now, it'll seem fairly obvious. Look, we're having this conversation right now, so everybody knows about it. So who knows who leaked it? But I'll tell you this much. Does that happen in all of these administrations where they say, hey, if you play ball, usually far more subtly than the Trump administration has said it in this instance, then we'll maybe approve your mergers, and if you don't, and you rock the boat, then maybe your merger doesn't get approved. In this case, they're brazen, it's potentially illegal, but are they going to take that into account when they make their decision? Of course they are, of course they are. And hence, why mainstream media cares about access. Does it really matter to have a boring Republican or Democratic congressman or senator on television? No, that doesn't help your ratings at all. I know, I was there. The ratings don't go up, they go down when you have a boring politician on. You don't need access for better ratings. You need access for things like government merger approval. So before, I would say those things and people in the mainstream would shake their heads and go, oh, corporations and politicians caring about billions of dollars. Cenk, that's so uncouth of you to say. Now, the Trump administration has made it public. They're saying, of course we care about that money, and that is a tool that we use to control the press. Now you know at least. Help us build independent media together. tytnetwork.com/join.